Hey guys, this is Chase BT694 in the fifth Reddit Online Twilight Struggle tournament. So we're in the first round playing fluidwill. Bid for sides. I bid 2 for the Soviets. He bid 1 for the Soviets. So he gets the USA +2. Real quick, looking at my hand. Red Scare. Suez Crisis, Cambridge 5. So we've got, some cards. We do have duck and cover, so you always have to be mindful of how you play duck and cover. Getting in turn 1 as the Soviets isn't that bad because you can basically decrease the DEFCON level twice or once, depending on what you coup. You coup a non-battleground and actually drop the DEFCON, but you give up some victory points. So you have to be mindful how you play that. Kind of a couple choices. Red Scare is definitely a choice here. It's always a choice. But I'm also kind of thinking maybe Cambridge 5 since I have duck and cover. If I can catch them in Asia, that gives me a chance to go after a coup and drop the DEFCON. I can go into Thailand. So I feel like maybe that's the play, just to try to, if we can catch them with Asia. Arab-Israeli war is definitely a shot at it too, especially if we wanted to go after the coup in Iran. But I kind of feel like we want to go ahead and take our opportunity at Italy. A lot of times you're only going to get the one opportunity at Italy, so we'll go ahead and give it a go. All right, so we're going to play Cambridge 5, see if we can get a little lucky here. So he plays Middle East, so he's going to get the quick 4 victory points. And that kind of almost, if you were on the fence about going Iran or Italy, it pushes us to Italy. We know he doesn't have Asia, so we have a little time there too. So our going into it, hoping to catch him with Asia, didn't really work either. So, which by the way, like I play Cambridge 5, I swear I only hit on that turn 1 like once every 20 turns. So here goes the coup. Let's roll big numbers. And we hit a 6. Wow. Big roll. Perfect outcome. In great shape right there. So, first thing accomplished, trying to grab Italy or France. We're in good shape there. So we'll kind of see what he does next. So things we'd like to do with our next turn, depending on, obviously we'd like to get in Afghanistan, go ahead and secure that. Like to place 1 in South Korea, kind of, hedge a little bit against him, playing his own Korea war card. So he plays Romania Abdication, which makes me feel like he probably also has independent Reds, maybe even Truman, so maybe he's trying to set that up. So he plays in Malaysia with his 1 op. And since we have duck and cover, we're going to coup, and it's going to drop the DEFCON, and then kind of, it kind of stops that pursuit. So, now he can definitely go at Afghanistan to go ahead and secure the western part of Asia. We'll fight that for another day, but we've kind of goes ahead and locks us up and gives us opportunity to really kind of seize Southeast Asia. And especially in a hand where we didn't have Vietnam, we didn't have decal, didn't have a real way, Cambridge 5 didn't work, so we didn't really have an entryway into Southeast Asia. Now we're here. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Looking at my hand, we've got some things we want to do. We definitely want to now take Thailand. We also want to still take Afghanistan. So if he redirects, we're going to place our 2 in Afghanistan. Also, if he doesn't take France, we'll also try to take France too. So a lot of things we want to do. We've been successful with our first 2 plays, our first 2 coups. Would have maybe liked to have gone ahead and taken Malaysia outright, but hey. So he plays blockade, gets rid of socialist government, and he places his 1 op. So we've got to go ahead and respond. We've got to go ahead and move up into Thailand. So we'll go ahead and do that. Maybe we should have went ahead and placed that with 3 ops. Not sure. So a couple different options now, kind of looking at our hand. Tempo wise, we're going to probably play Formosa and give them the vent. It's not the end of the world, especially since, if we can manage to, explode in Southeast Asia. Might go ahead and use an intervention special relationship just because I don't want to give them the tick mark in France. Or waste those 2 ops, keeping them from getting the 1 op. So, but we could also wouldn't be bad the space. Wow. Okay. So he plays D-stall, tries to coup, he drops the Defcon to 2. Really peculiar play to me. D-stall is one of the most important cards in the deck for the Soviets. To give up D-stall when you have a chance to really wow, we know what to do. So we're also gonna so playing D-stall essentially for military ops. I guess he was trying to knock me out of the Middle East. But that's kind of looking at his board, what he would want to do. A little surprised by it. So we're going to go ahead and take a little momentum. And some of the reasons why we went ahead and played into France is kind of to make sure we can get Algeria. So we're such a head start in the mid-war countries. And also, yeah. So, all right. Looking at the board, got all excited about the D-stall play. What's peculiar about that as well is he has socialist government and blockade. So usually you see somebody with blockade, they're going to have blockade, make sure D-stall gets discarded if they're going to have to play blockade. And then if you have to play socialist government, you do that, but then you could have spaced one of them too to go ahead and advance on the space track as far as that goes and get ahead of the victory points there. So, real peculiar play to me. Not exactly really sure what was going on with the thinking there. The play tempo wise also might have been to go ahead and get to Afghanistan on that play to make sure we don't get locked out of West Asia. But hopefully, we've got 2 4-op cards. I'd like to go ahead and get into Spain because if we're going to have this kind of success in Europe, let's make sure we're able to take advantage of our opportunity and then score that for, instead of scoring it for 2, we're scoring it for 7. So we'd much rather do that. We also like to go ahead and place his other 2 ops into Asia. So if we can get to Afghanistan, I'd like to do that. If not, if we get blocked out there, then we kind of need to protect Thailand and also place one in South Korea. So that's kind of our 2 ops. Would also love to be able to play in South America. Go ahead and protect that a little bit up against the realignments. And I think also with this hand, depending on what he does, if he really gets aggressive, going ahead and playing the China card would be okay to kind of go ahead and protect what we've done to kind of keep it from unraveling. So explode in Southeast Asia, getting an op in South Korea, protecting a little bit of South America, maybe getting the Lebanon, at least present in the Middle East, but at least we know he's not going to be, we don't have to worry about the Middle East scoring next round, our next turn. So that's an advantage. Let's see. I don't think he has Europe's scoring card right now because of, I think he would have gone into France or scored it real quick already. So outside shot, he's got Asia, but I don't think he makes the D-stall play if he's worried about Asia, trying to get military ops. So even though we are losing quite badly on the, uh, we've definitely given up the victory points here. So we've given up 6, but our position is much better. Minus the Middle East. But like to get protected a little bit in France. Have a little protection there. But how much is the U.S. willing to throw it into France and trying to hit a Truman or something like that? When several of says Crisis and De Gaulle are all still in the deck. So be interesting to hear you guys, in the comments, what you would prioritize on the next one. Is it, throwing, going ahead and playing the China card and, 2 Afghanistan, 1 in Thailand, 1 in South Korea, 1 in Cambodia? Is it, playing both these, I definitely think one of the plays is, whether it's turn 5 or turn 6, or actually around 5 or 6, is definitely to go into Spain to definitely press for domination in Europe. So we definitely have to follow through on that. So that's 2 of the ops. So the next question is, with the other 2 ops, is it going to be, protect Thailand, South Korea? Is it Afghanistan? Is it, hey, don't worry about it, use the China card and explode out the, Afghanistan, Cambodia, Thailand, South Korea kind of play, which is a pretty good play. And then you keep, in that scenario, you definitely keep UN intervention to try to protect you, CIA. That's one of the big things. So, yeah, he's definitely, he hasn't had a good hand so far. I mean, granted, he's Middle East. He scored it before, and he was able to pick up another 2 victory points from duck and cover. But op-wise, he's 2-1 up cards and a 1, I think, on his roll with D-stall, giving up one of the best events in the game. And then we've obviously had a great coup on, on Italy. We had a average coup on Malaysia. And it's taking him a while to play here. Let's go. So, all right. So, other things to consider. Let's see. It's also military track, since, depending on if he decides to play a strictly victory point game, he's off to a head start. So you would also think he would really want to go ahead and space something to try to pick up 2 victory points, and take advantage as quick as he can on that track as well. So if I'm him and I'm thinking about how I'm playing this hand, things I would want to do, I would definitely, Afghanistan, if I'm him, it's a must. But then, because I haven't been able to overtake Thailand, I'm thinking maybe I can maybe I slam a 3-out card into Thailand and kind of attack, try to neutralize what I've done so far in Southeast Asia. But that's more of a actual round 6 play, I think, depending on what happens. But Afghanistan would definitely happen. Um, I wouldn't be necessarily afraid of throwing it off into France either. Uh, with the idea of possibly get to Algeria, I definitely take Lebanon. I take the easy one up there. Uh, um, so and then also probably maybe even pick up a couple of the Indonesia, Philippines. Maybe go ahead and make sure I get one into Costa Rica. If I'm him and I haven't, let's say, the end of this turn, which I'm probably not going to, um, I end up in a situation where, every scenario I've talked about has been on my side has been making sure I get ops into Spain, making sure I get my ops into somewhere in Asia. I haven't talked about protecting, uh, you know, South America. So if I'm him, I'm not afraid to do a action round six play of going into Colombia either. And then at that point, I'm in a situation where I've got to decide what I'm doing. Am I cooing? Am I and then if I coup somewhere in the Middle East or Panama, then I go into Venezuela, kind of attack it from that. So you know, and I would think that he's Fluid Will has to have some ops, since he's essentially played 2 out cards and a 3 out card. So it'll be interesting to see what he plays, when he plays. It's been a while, so um, might have to pause it in a second, figure out what's going on. All right, so we paused, and then 30 minutes later, a little bit of fine plays. Captured Nazi scientist. He plays for the event to go ahead and move up. We're going to play for Mosin and go ahead and take Afghanistan. Tempo wise, gave us the opportunity. So now we're threatening the 2 regions, Asia and Europe. We'll see what he does. So if I'm him, I'm assuming he's going to take Pakistan, but he might not. Our last play, we're going to play special relationships in Spain, pretty much regardless of what he does. Not 100% regardless. If he slams cards into Thailand, so the China card in Asia, it's kind of our so. All right, so not really sure what happens. No worries. So sometimes you get stuck thinking the other person's playing, or maybe lost internet or something. Specific screen. Who knows? Who knows? All speculation. So, so, so he plays Truman Doctrine for the event, and okay, it's a weird play, but we'll go ahead and go to Spain. So, if I'm him, my action round 6 play is definitely attacking Thailand and Colombia if I can. So if I've got a 3 out card, that's exactly what I do. Bam, 2 of them in Thailand, 1 in Colombia. I'm attacking a couple different regions at once. Um, you know, Maybe I go into France as well. But I really think I would go Thailand, Colombia with a 3 out card. If I have a 3 out card, if I have just a 2 out card, I'd probably go Colombia, Lebanon, but maybe also attacking Thailand as well. But if 1 out card, dude, yeah. So we'll see what he has. So he's got the Indo-Pakistan War card, which he'll probably take Pakistan. Yeah. All right. So look at our hand. We've got some great ops again. We've got NATO, Marshall Plan, De Gaulle. We have Decal, which is awesome. Yeah. So we can play independent reds without really having to worry about it as well. I'd love to play Decal or Asia. Go ahead and play. We're going to play Fidel, thinking we're going to be able to spread out with Decall. Just kind of worried about the defectors was out there, so didn't want to give up on the victory points there. And he would have action protected against the Asia's card, so that worked out. We go ahead and take Fidel. We've got influence. We're going to go ahead and coup. We're going to go ahead and kind of continue our assault a little bit. Nice. We roll another 6. So success in Central America. So kind of looking at the board here. If he doesn't overprotect Pakistan, we might throw the China card. Go ahead and take it. Also, might just go ahead and take South Korea too. All right, so he plays a 5-year plan and pulls NATO out. That hurts to lose 4 ops, but we're not going to get hurt for our CIA or anything like that. So that is a plus. I'm surprised he didn't use those for ops. I'm going to take that while we can. We now have to at least make sure we get a present, so we might as well get the cheapest one that we can. And this next card we'll try to use Decall to kind of spread out. I was also talking about playing the China card into Pakistan. We didn't do. At least for this turn, get the reprieve from knowing that we'll immediately get war carded out of there. All right. We're going to go ahead and take South Korea. I kind of feel like he's sleeping on Pakistan. So wanted to go ahead and get it. Independent Reds has already been played, so we're not that worried about placing in those regions. Yugoslavia is always a little place to be, kind of start protecting Italy against a brush war later in the game. So hopefully at some point we'll be able to maybe get into Greece and take Yugoslavia and then really protect it there. All right. So I feel better about Thailand now that it's overprotected. Depending on what he does here, if he leaves Pakistan unprotected, we're going to slam the China card in and then hope to be able to score Asia. It's kind of what we're hoping for. But you look at this board position right now, we're in pretty great shape. I mean, obviously we're kicking butt in Europe. We're doing awesome in Central America, South America, Africa. I mean, we're in mid-war places. He isn't. It's kind of cut off from access. He's playing some events, and you really should be trying to pump those ops in and spread your info. So we slammed the China card into Pakistan. We're hoping, to be able to, we have to score Asia, depending on what he does here, So he plays Career War. Maybe we can win this roll too. So we do not. Would have been nice for that roll if we would have won. Would be to, just because it kind of, he has to go back through South Korea to get to North Korea for a action round 6 play. So we'll score this for 6, which is huge. Thought we had messed that up for a minute. And then starting off, turn 3, it looks like we invested into Europe, and then looks like Europe said no. I was about to say it wasn't going to come out turn 3, but there it is. We scored for 7. We get our military ops, and so we went from the end of turn 1 at down 8 to the end of turn 2 up 7. So pretty good shape. Going to go ahead and headline Nasser to go ahead and try to, the one place we're not looking great is the Middle East. So we're going to go in there and try to even stuff up. So, and of course, defectors, which we're worried about last round, happens this round. We'll go ahead and throw a coup out there. It's really it's 2 coup. And we roll 5. So our turn 1, our action round 1 coups have been a 6, 6, and a 5. We got to play D-stall, and we've got D-call twice in the first 3 rounds. So as the Soviets, I think our opponent has made a few mistakes, but we've also had some fantastic cards. But then looking at what we have here, we get to, we're going to try to space East European unrest. Got a big 4-op card, nuclear test ban. We're going to U.S. intervention, Marshall Plan, and then we get to play containment end of our turn to give just the 1 extra op. So, can't be, hand-wise, we're rocking and rolling. So hopefully we can solidify Africa going into turn 4. Kind of even up a little bit in Middle East. We need to throw an extra op in Pakistan so we don't just lose it back to the China card. But even if we did, it's not the end of the world. I almost wouldn't mind having the China card back. But also as a plus, we didn't draw CIA. Big plus there. So here's NORAD for the ops. So kind of takes Iran back. Go ahead. Tech, boom. So I'm going to take out influence, but with that being said, it doesn't. Probably should do the other one in the UK since he does have NORAD. He'd already played this hand, but it doesn't matter. He's just going to use all 3 of those influence to repair, or at least I assume he would, or at least West Germany. I think at this point, I might just do the West Germany and then use my 1 extra op somewhere else. All right, so we'll go ahead and space, see if we can catch up. Nope. Had to roll 1 through 3. We rolled a 4. So we got that out of the way. Felt like we had it tempo-wise to be able to do it. And then our next 3 plays are 3 pretty big power plays. So we get to play decall, the UN intervention with Marshall Plan, and then another big 3 ops and containment. So hopefully we can go ahead and lock down Africa and solidify South America. Also, wouldn't be bad to go ahead and get Burma. All right. So spreading out decal, went ahead and protected, Angola through Zaire, put one in South Africa. We should be able to do an intervention with our access from France. Go ahead and take Algiers. Um, and then we really like to also get the South American kind of protect. So one thing I'll try to worry about as the Soviets is the turn for voice of America play. So a lot of times you're just trying to get into regions, and so you're 2-2 in Venezuela, Brazil. Then you get Voice of America straight out of South America. So sometimes I like to have 3-2, kind of protects against the Voice of America. That's why Cuba's kind of protected, Panama's protected from it. Obviously Africa is not protected right now from it. But there's only so much you can do invest in Africa at this point. But for example, if he went to Algiers, try to take us out, we've got the access back from France, so we're okay. So the bigger play right now would be the, knocking us out at the southern part of Africa. But even then, it's we have other cards with access. There's always ways to play in Africa. So the China card. Huh. All right. So he plays the China card into Asia. Uh, Makes me think that he's got, the we're gonna go ahead, protect our South America, go in Vietnam. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it gives us a country count. We're gonna go ahead and keep against a realignment there, maybe? I don't even really know. So it was a so if he, with containment, because you always have to be able to kind of change your plans. I was hoping to be able to have um, Africa a little more locked down, go ahead and have South America, CIA. All right. Okay. So if he has the scoring card, he has to play it. So, you know, there's only so much we can do. So be interesting, especially using, unless the whole play of the China card was to keep from playing another card, uh, to be able to hold two, but he didn't space anything. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I get the play. Um, okay. All right. So starting off, uh, ABM Treaty, Indo-Pakistan. Got a great hand. I mean, lots of ops, some good event cards. Um, we could use duck and cover to be able to drop DEF CON and take, France and Algeria back. Um, we got Muslim Revolution to kind of correct our wrongs in the Middle East, which is awesome. We're gonna play ABM Treaty just in case he has Truman. Then we can protect it before he knocks us out. Okay. We got to give them Muslim Revolution. We're going to go ahead and instead of coup and repair our damage, let him do his worst with his Muslim Revolution coup, and then we'll try to coup back whatever he does. Now, granted, he can go um, into Asia, but if I'm him, I'm so far behind in Africa and in South America. You've got to counter there, right? You have to, right? So actually, I was worried about played ABM because I was worried about Truman. But but I think he actually played it early to take out our one op at Finland. Huh. All right. I only have two ops, so I guess he's thinking it's a chance to flip. We're rolling one, which we were due a bad roll. Uh, so I assume he finishes what you start. Go ahead and take Europe, or go ahead and take France. Um, and then we'll try a coup again back in the Middle East. What we'll probably do too, if he doesn't, uh, once he takes, if he just in case he has brush war, might take Greece. You know how to protect against the roll. Uh, if he has brush war, granted, maybe he's, maybe he has the Europe card that's going for it. Okay, so he rolls a six, but he uses Suez Crisis. So we're gonna. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take. No. So interesting play. I don't know if I get it. What was. I didn't necessarily. What the worst idea to take Muslim Revolution and throw it, use it as ops, to try to flip something, to give me a choice of what I was going to do with it. Um, but I don't know if I'd be hard pressed not to use that four ops card in Africa, South America, try to coup. Um, so yeah, you ended up with the coup into South America. So you play the Panama event, you get tick marks, but you don't flip those countries. Go ahead and try to make sure we even it up. Middle East a little bit here. Mhm. Yeah, shuttle diplomacy is one of those cards that a lot of times don't play just because it's. I think it can be real powerful just because usually these regions are one country swings a region, but we've got such a good head start. I don't really mind as much going ahead and playing that card. So um, so there it is. We're playing it. Hopefully, we can reap the benefits, or not reap the benefits from it, but being able to go ahead and make sure we get Saudi Arabia, most likely to get Saudi Arabia, kind of evens up the Middle East. Um, kind of, because we give up a country. It just kind of depends on which region gets scored first. So hopefully Asia comes out first, not Middle East. Other things we'd like to do, we'd like to be able to hopefully set up a realignment in Argentina. We need to go ahead and try to get duck and cover out of our hand. And might as well throw a little shot at the Indo-Pakistan war card. 33% chance to win it, a 5 or a 6. Which I'm surprised he didn't. Okay, so he was just as likely to take his own ops out, but he is successful. We'll go ahead and space. I think if he takes Mexico, you pretty much kind of see the writing on the wall in Central America. But what we'll probably do here is take a shot at Indo-Pakistan war card and then throw a turn extra round 7 Quagmire onto the Soviets. See if we can get a lucky little roll and carry over. And if not, at least we'll hopefully stop a extra round 7 play. We should get a victory point. Okay. So, because of Asia and see if we get a roll 5 or 6. Oh, we hit a 6. All right, so we've been a little lucky on the roll there. The only reason why we didn't have domination was because of the card that takes a battleground from us. But hopefully we can get the one extra hop into Saudi that will even up. Well, even it up for 1 second to put the one hop into Libya. So we're down in the Middle East, but when you look at the board, that's pretty much the only place we're looking bad. We need to kind of protect some of the Africa cards, Africa countries against colonial rear guards. All right. Go ahead and throw a quack. So he gets rid of OPEC, which would have gotten us a few extra victory points. But finally, we get Europe scoring. Awesome. Portuguese Empires kind of helps out. Always love to have Shea. Grain sales Soviets, 2 Soviets. Love that when we got the card, we can properly space it, get rid of it. I kind of want to, I think at this point, you want to play Europe scoring, in the headline. I don't really think there was, but just in case there's something that I'm not really thinking about, 7 victory points, we want to protect it. We're not going to gamble it. Make sure it happens in the right way. I might go ahead and play Cuban Missile Crisis here. Because we can always get our military ops by cooing Costa Rica. We do have Shea, so. And then if he spreads out or tries to fight back in Africa, because at some point he's got to try, right? So I think Cuban Missile Crisis is the way, because it also lets us go ahead and hopefully set up a realignment of Argentina and South America. So he inlines Middle East, which scores in 4. And it gets rid of. So now we're even better in Asia. There's our 7 victory points back. So we push up to 14. Gotta space. and then we're going to want to keep Yasuri. Uh, we don't want to play that, so means we're going to have to play our man Ron, which is a bit of a gamble. Might be a mistake in this particular game. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it would be better to spend some ops and protect in Asia and some of our countries, and then play Yasuri. And hell no, that just lose the China card. Oh well, we'll figure it out. But not that worried. I mean, we're kind of in pretty good shape here. Um, if I'm him at this point, I'm looking at regions, Asia. Uh, I've got to get into Africa. Um, Central America is the one place. Go ahead and get to Mexico, and at least take Mexico, finish up Costa Rica. Got a pretty good spot to have a chance to take Central America and try to maybe realign me out. So big 4-op card sets up our event though. So okay, so all right. So I like the 4-op card idea, but I would have gone Mexico, Costa Rica. He sets up some coups, and he can't coup back in these non-battlegrounds. So the Colombia play helps because we now are in a position where we have domination in South America. Um, the four, but I don't understand definitely take Mexico, Costa Rica can play that 4-op card or attack. Slam that 4-ops into Asia, flip Cambodia, flip Indonesia, attack North Korea, slam all of that big 4-op card into France and try to fight back in Europe, except for I probably wouldn't have done that. I would have definitely either gone, hey, let's flip a country. The country counts relatively close into Asia. Let me see if I can flip some. I've got to get into, I need to set something up in Asia, set that up. But that 4-ops into 4 non-battlegrounds, not the best play. And then we have the perfect card once he did that. So another 4-op card. All right, so now he's, so you kind of look at that. He put some of it South America, some of it into Angola. So now maybe he's thinking he can attack into Zaire. So we're gonna kind of protect all 3. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're back to overprotected in Zaire and Angola, South Africa. It's obviously set, but with stability of 3. See what he does. Still need a space. Have a chance to space. We definitely have to do that at some point this round. And then we're going to have to play Rd1. We're going to have to. How I learned to stop worrying is going to get played well as a op, not a. What I still like to get to Uruguay, Paraguay, hopefully set up a realignment. Argentina too. The initial part of our initial play. So he goes into Zaire. So all types of things we need to reinforce. Um, grab the extra one in Saudi, overprotect France, overprotect North Korea. But based off his plan, we're gonna go to Nigeria. If he goes into Cameroon, we don't have to worry about the immediate 3-op card, so that we could technically have a chance to hopefully space great sales. if I was him attacking Africa, probably would have, gone about it maybe a little bit different. But sometimes should get a victory point here. He's gonna have to repair it. Would assume. What's he gonna do with his one op? So he gets presence. We'll go ahead and space. We miss it. So we've been great on our coup rolls, but awful on our space rolls. So he gets presence, but if we were to score the card right now, he would lose. So if he's got, which way he's played it, and he's thrown kind of some ops out here, makes you wonder if he's got the Africa scorecard, and if he does, he's in some pretty bad trouble. But he had the ops; he could have fought. If that was the case, the first 4-op card, I wouldn't have messed around in Central America, whatnot. Yeah, and he's got public governments. I would have started with that. We'll go ahead and coup. Try to keep the realignment from happening. Okay. 2 victory points. We have to play this card, so hopefully we don't get rid of Africa and South America scoring, or Asia scoring. See what he discards. I definitely like spacing our man into Ron. Because it could be such a huge card. Like, for instance, if he was able to discard South America, Africa, Asia, that would be, like 20 something, like 22 points or something. Something crazy like that could suddenly get discarded off the board. Which he discards a couple cards that aren't that big of a deal. So we'll go ahead and finally set up our realignment in South America to hopefully get knockout next turn. But 2 fluidwill. I mean, he's de-stall, the double decar early. We're able to spread our tentacles pretty wide, pretty quick, and he's got African scoring, so that will do it. So thank you guys for watching. Some interesting play. We had good cards. We had good rolls. That would have been a tough feat for anybody to come back against with rolling 6s on pretty much every coup we had. We got decal a couple times in the first 3 rounds. Really set us up. Right there, Africa, to be able to get back. So he needed some cards to come in on his side to have a chance to kind of fight back in Africa. He just didn't get the right cards. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll be on to the next round. We'll post the next one soon. All right. Thanks, guys.